Nobody really warned me what friendship would be like after 40. I have some thoughts about it. I was looking through my contacts in my phone recently, and after stringing a few decades together now, I have a bunch of them, approaching 2,000. Now, not all of those are friends, of course, or have been friends. Those are just contacts, as you can imagine, through, just through life. You just make contacts. But there were several of them that I noticed were people that I used to spend a lot of time with, and people who I really care about, people that I wish now that I'd spent more time with. But the thoughts that I have about it, I'm just going to make 2 points for you real quick about having friends in your 40s. First of all, friendship in your 40s isn't easy. The first friendships that I can think of would have came from play days or kindergarten up through elementary school into middle school. Those would have included sports teams that I played on. By proximity, I just made friends, and I didn't have anything pulling on my schedule as I do as an adult, which I'll talk about here in just a minute, to compete with that. It was easy as kids. If you play on the same ball team, hey, you're just buddies. Go out for ice cream after the game. You go have sleepovers at each other's house, things like that. That's the first glimpse I think many of us got of friendship. As I've already mentioned, we all had a sports team or a piano lesson or a karate dojo or whatever you did as a kid growing up. You probably had other kids around you. You made friends. Next thing you know, you blink your eyes, you're graduating high school. You've had some close friends for quite some time. And even then, as a young person, you go into your first job, maybe even in the high school, and your schedule's pretty cool. Outside of work, there's not a lot of responsibilities that you have, so you have time to go hang out and to go to the movies or whatever it may be, and do all sorts of things to make friends. And in that is where the friendship really happened, where your vulnerabilities showed up to your brothers or your sisters, your friends that you had. You shared things with them. They shared things with you. You sort of figured out life together. That's what friendship sort of, for me, boils down to. And that's what's so hard to get in your 40s. Now, the next point I want to make is nobody just decided, I don't want to have friends anymore. But we did make some decisions, most of us, that led to the fact that we're not going to have the time that we used to have, or the willingness or the ability to be friends or have friends like we used to. First big one I can think of is marriage. When I got married, I had this vision in my mind of this sort of Seinfeld dream where I was going to live this adult life with my spouse, my wife, and all my friends were just going to be there. They're just going to follow me throughout life. And that's just not true. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't want it to be true. And then you have kids. And when you have kids, it's a whole other ball of wax. Now you have literal other humans depending on you for their well-being. It's hard to have friends. It becomes harder and harder over time to give time that you could be given to your wife and kids to those friends of yours. And for those of you that have been married and have kids, it's not only something you shouldn't feel guilty about, it's something you have to do. You have to give time to your wife and kids and sort of give your friends the back seat, or it's not going to work. And most of us, I think, have lent a lot of time and attention and effort to our careers. There's a lot of things happening at work or at your business or whatever you do for a living that it sort of eats at the remainder of time that you would have after the wife and kids that you give to the business, you give to your career. Again, not only should we not feel guilty about that, but in order to make the life that we want our family to have, it's something we have to do. There are a litany of other things that have caused us over time to chip away at our friendships. We have people, they move away, they have a different career, they have kids. Now this all begins to compound, and it's no longer the days of our 20s where we could just, we get off work and we feel fresh as a daisy. We don't have any responsibility, we can call up our buddy and go to the movies or go to the overlooks or go to the ball fields, the ball games, the concerts, whatever those may be. We have a lot of people dependent on us, which brings me to my next point. In our 40s, if not before our 40s, people really start looking to us, not only in our family, not only in our careers, but any civic engagements we have, anything we mean to our community. People are looking at us as the adult now. They depend on us, and that's another thing that sort of chips away at that time that you would have given to friendship at one point in your life, but it's hard to do now. Now, that all sounds very dark and sad, and I'm just never going to have friends again, but that doesn't have to be true. What has to become true in our 40s is we have to be very intentional to make time for friendships. We have to rely on some of our old friends, have the conversations of, hey, we might not talk every week or every day or maybe even every month, but we have to have those kind of friends. Do you have those kind of friends where you could like not see them for a year, and then when you see them again, it's like nothing ever changed? It's because they understand the same things that I'm talking about right now. My intentions were not to shut you out as a friend. Their intentions were not to shut me out as a friend. It's just, hey man, we got priorities here. We got things going on to where I can't be your friend every day, every week, every month. But when I see you, it's a dab and a hug, and how's it going? How's the kids? I would still, if that person, I'm thinking of a friend right now, I'm sure you are too. If that person were to call me in the middle of the night and say, hey, I really need you, I would make that time and I would go, and they would do the same for me. We got to have those kind of people. And with those kind of people, it needs to become intentional now that we're stringing decades together. Hey, let's get breakfast. Let's go on a Saturday morning. Let's wake up before the kids, before the wife, and let's meet early. Let's get coffee. You have to do grown-up like things in order to maintain friendships, because you need at least a couple of those in your life that you can bounce things off of, and they can bounce things off of you. Now, I'm going to bring this in for a landing. I hope you've heard my key thoughts here. None of us decided just to not have friends or to lose friends or to neglect the time that we once would have given them. It just happens. It happens to good people. It happens to successful people. Naturally, you don't have to feel guilty about it. But you do have to be intentional to where we're not growing into these hermits that just shut out the world and we don't need anybody. And then we'll have a whole different conversation about loneliness. You need friends. You need to be intentional about giving friends time, and they need to be good. You need to be selective, because you know that you don't have all the time in the world. You're having to be intentional just to give time to friends. So you need to be intentional about who those friends are and what they sort of what you can glean from them in life and what they can glean from you. Friendship is doable in your 40s. It just costs more. So we have to really pay attention to make sure that the time we do give to friends is quality time. So in closing, friendship used to be easy. It's not anymore. It's still a necessity. It's something that you need, and it's something that you need to be intentional about. Now, I've rambled enough about friendship. Make sure and like and subscribe so you hear more of my videos, see more of my videos. And do me a favor, scroll through your phone. Find a friend that you haven't talked to in a while, and it was just an accident. You just woke up one day and a year's gone by, 5 years has gone by. Give them a call. Say, hey, I was just thinking about you. It won't be long if you'll do that and you'll be intentional in that way. Those phone calls will start returning to you. Have a great day.